My name is Jimmy.
What's up, everyone? Jimmy here. I'm going to be giving my thoughts for the Microsoft press conference of E3 this year. And just to get out of the way, the reason why I did not do anything for EA is because they have the most disappointing and worst conference of E3. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who thinks that. But let's start off. They finally gave us a full release date for We Happy Few, which will now be coming out on August 10th of this year, which means that it's just less than 2 months, technically 2 months from the initial announcement. And it's actually been a game that I've been kind of interested in checking out, so I'm definitely willing to play it when it does release. And, all this other stuff, no particular order. It's just because I'm using a website for the news roundup. And only talking about the stuff that I caught eye on or interest in. They also had a surprise announcement of a brand new Battletoads title coming next year to the Xbox One, which I think this is awesome. I mean, a sequel to an old school game. And just with this announcement, it does make me interested in checking it out next year. There was also new Cuphead DLC expansion is going to be coming out next year, and it will be adding in new bosses, new enemies, even a female character. So I would assume that it's going to be able to do up to 3-player co-op, which, to be honest, just watching people streaming with just co-op was already confusing. So with 3 people, not going to be any less confusing. So yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. Also, towards the end of the conference, there was this new game announced from Project Red called Cyberpunk 2077, which, no clue of what genre of game it's going to be, but it gives you definitely a futuristic feel of a game. So definitely looking forward to hearing more about it as time goes on. There was also some announcements that originally came out from that leak from Walmart, because Walmart, man. First being Devil May Cry 5, which at first I was thinking, okay, is this a sequel to 4 or the remake? And it is indeed a sequel to 4, which would make sense because it looks like the guy at the beginning of the trailer is Dante's younger brother from the 4th game. Because I remember he had a demonic hand that he always kept covered up, so I guess since he has a robo hand, I guess that means he cut it off eventually. Also, The Division 2, which I've never played the first game, but I've always been interested in checking it out, so maybe with 2 eventually I'll be able to get the game, and plus renew my plus, because multiplayer games have to require it, even if it's something you pay like $60 for. Yeah, but definitely one to check out on that. One of the big announcements for me, and it was also part of my last video, it was announcement of Dying Light 2. And to be honest, when I was hearing the narrator and I was seeing the scenery, it made me think of Dying Light. Once we heard the catchphrase from Dying Light, we all knew that it was the sequel announced, which confirms my prediction as well as the previous rumor about it. So definitely excited. They're bringing in some sort of choice making into the game, which I think that's cool to bring in because it makes everyone not have the same game as the next person. So I think that's awesome. And I hope they also improve on their stuff because they did have some problems. I mean, not every game is like, seems perfect. But I always had a problem with the be a zombie mode. And I don't even think it had to do anything with my actual internet connection. I think it had to do with the game itself. And also improve on what they already had in the game. Because, I mean, we always want to see improvements made to our favorite game series. So, looking forward to when that comes out. And also, there was an announcement for Gears of War 5, but before that, they showed a trailer for a Gears of War Funko Pop mobile game coming out next year. And, you know, at first, I was like thinking, did they just troll people? But then they showed Gears of War 5, which, to be honest, I've only played a majority of the first game, but, you know, all these Gears of War games look pretty fucking awesome. I mean, who would want a chainsaw and a gun in one? And they also showed off a teaser for Halo Infinite. Never played main story on any of the older games. I think the first two I played couch multiplayer with. But I'm definitely intrigued to hearing more about the story because I know someone that shared it saying, "Oh, 343 finally showing love for Halo." I don't know what they mean by that. Do they mean like the games lately have not been that great or what? And that was pretty much it. You know, there might have been other things that they briefly talked about, but they weren't things that necessarily interest me. You know. But I would say overall, definitely a step up from last year. Because last year, it, it was pretty boring, to be honest. I was unappealed by anything that they showed off. I mean, you know, there was like stuff for Stave Decay 2, but that was about it from what I can remember from last year. But I would definitely say it's definitely one of the contenders of the upper part of the great conferences from E3. But you know, there's also Bethesda, and also, you know, as I'm recording this, there's also Square Enix, which is starting like an hour from the recording, as well as Ubisoft and PlayStation conferences, as well as, you know, the Nintendo conference the following day. But that's pretty much all my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below what you thought of Microsoft's press conference. Just let me know whether you agree or disagree, because, you know, like I always say, people are allowed to have their opinions. People are entitled to their opinions. And it just pisses me off when people make little childish arguments just because, oh, you both don't like the same game franchise. Like, let's say in my instance, I love the Kingdom Hearts series. Someone say Kingdom Hearts sucks. You know, I just don't like unnecessary drama and fights. You know, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person with the mindset out there. But like I said, let me know your thoughts on the conference in general down below, and I will have my Bethesda thoughts up as soon as I'm able to, because I'm multitasking here. So my name's Jimmy, and until the next video, bye.